Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to share with you how to cook Liberian Palawa sauce. If you are interested, please keep watching. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it highly. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, please comment, please like. I will appreciate that. Let's get started. I will first start off by adding 2 cups of water to my pot. And these are the meat that I will be using to cook this meal today. I have some dry fish, which we call boning from Liberia. I've already washed and deboned it. I also have some clean cow skin that I've also cut up in a preferred size. I also have some tilapia, 2 pieces. I just removed the head to avoid the bones. And I'm also adding a little bit of shrimp. After adding the shrimp to my pot, I will be dicing half onion. Excuse me. I will be dicing half onion to add to my pot. This will help to give the meat some good flavor. And also I'm adding 3 habanero peppers. I'm just dicing it too. If you have blender or if you have mortar, you can blend this, or you can grind it in your mortar. You don't have to use the cutting bowl like I am doing in this video. So after cutting it up, I will just place it in a bowl and I will be adding it to the soup in few seconds. Right now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt and 2 teaspoons of Knorr chicken seasoning to the assorted meat and fish. Right now the onions and the pepper that I have diced up, I'm just adding it to the pot. From there I will just gently mix the water, the seasons, and the meat together. When I'm done, I will cover the pot and allow the meat to cook for about 15 minutes. While the meat is cooking, I will be working on the Palawa sauce. I visited the Asian store and I was fortunate to see these fresh vegetables, guys. I couldn't escape it. So I will be showing you how to prepare it for those that might not know how to prepare it. So as you can see, the branches, they are much smaller. So I'm working with 8 branches today. But if you will be working with the branches that are large in size, I will assume it will be 3 branches because the ones are smaller in size. I don't know if that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm just plucking the leaves from the stem. The stem there, you won't use that. And another way to prepare your vegetable faster is just by pulling it from the stem, as you can see me demonstrating it in this video. I grew up with a mom that sold food for many years, so when she used to buy the Palawa sauce in huge quantities, so this is how we used to prepare it. And the leaf that I just showed you is not Palawa sauce, so when you plucking your Palawa, so you need to check out for non-vegetables or leaves that are not edible. So these are the shrimp and the fish. I just removed from the pot after 15 minutes because I don't want it to overcook. I will just continue cooking the bone and the cow skin until it reach my preferred texture. So for you want to cook your meat till you can get as soft as you want it. While the meat is continuing cooking, I'm working on the Palawa sauce now, just to multitask so that we don't stay too long in the kitchen. So you want to place enough water in your pan and wash your Palawa sauce, I would say 1 or 2 times, making sure that the vegetables is really clean before you can work with it. So what I did, I just gathered enough in my hands and place it on the cutting board, and I start to cut it as you can see me demonstrating it in the video. When you're doing it, just be as careful as possible with your knife. I will also be adding about 2 pounds of okra to the palaver sauce. You know, I grew up in a large family, so my mom always used to improvise. Whenever you cook in your palaver, so you notice it's always small, because as soon you place it in the pot, you know, it just dissolves like that. What you want to do, if you want your palaver sauce to be slippery and the quantity to be a bit large, just add a little bit of okra and you will end up with a big pot of palaver sauce. You will see what I'm talking about. So this is the finished product, and I have the okra here that I will just be blending in the blender, so that I don't take too much time, you know, dicing it. So I will just put it in the blender and chop it up. I will show you the way you want to do it. So here we are. I allow, like, I would say 90% of the water to get dry, because we don't want a lot of water for this soup. So I just extracted the meat from the liquid and I left the liquid in the pot. So I would say I have about 3/4 cup of fluid in the pot that I will be cooking with the palaver sauce. The vegetable is pretty young, so we don't need a lot of water. Okay. So right now we'll just be adding the vegetable or the palaver sauce to the liquid. And I will follow that with the okra that I blended. I will show you how I blended it, the size of the okra, in a few seconds. Here we go. So this is how you want it. You don't want it to you don't want to over blend it like it being in the form of a paste. You just want to like have that chunky like texture. So I have a tteokbokki soda. You can find this in the African store or the Asian store, and I will be using a teaspoon of the soda. This helps to break down the vegetables. Okay, that's the main purpose of the soda. So I'm just mixing the fluid, the soda, and the vegetable together really good, and I will cook it for about 5 minutes. While it's cooking, I'm working on the blended. I'm working on some vegetables that I'll be adding to the pot. 1 bell pepper, I bought 8 to 10 habanero, 1 whole onion, and some mushroom. You can please go with what you would prefer. I just blended it, and I'll be adding it to the pot soon. After about 5 minutes, I'm checking on the palaver sauce. Now, as you can see, the tteokbokki soda is doing the work. So I'm just trying to stir it in a circular form. After stirring it, I will allow it to cook again for around 5 to 10 minutes. While the vegetable is cooking, I'm just working on my fish. I'm trying to remove most of the bones as possible, and I also don't like the skin of this fish. So if you want to keep the skin, that's perfectly fine. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just removing like 90 or 99% of the bones from this fish. After doing that, I will just set it aside and check on the soup again. Here we are, guys. As you can see, I'm checking on the soup right now. I'm just adding the blended peppers, onions, mushrooms. After adding it, I will be adding 3 cooking cubes. I'm using the Crown Vita and the Onga Vita. You can find this in the Asian or African store as well. After adding the peppers and the Vita, I'm just thoroughly stirring it, because the more you stir, the more the vegetable breaks down. So I allow it to cook again for around 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just checking on it. After checking on it, I'm adding the fish, the meat, and I'm adding everything besides the shrimp. I'm not adding the shrimp now because the shrimp is already cooked. As you can see, guys, the water on these vegetables, as if to say I empty a drum of water in it. So like almost any vegetables, when you're cooking it, you just want to be really careful with the water, or else you would take so long trying to get that water dry. While I was talking, I added 2 cups of palm oil, red palm oil, and I'm adding about 1/4 of whole onion to the pot. I just slice it up, and I will be cooking the soup for a few more minutes. And before covering the pot, what I did, I added the onion, I stirred it up, and I tasted it. I was a little bit below the taste that I wanted, so I added a teaspoon of seasoned salt. So when you're cooking your food, be tasting alone. Maybe you might not be working with the exact amount of vegetables I'm working with. Okay, if you are eating your palaver sauce with fufu, you can stop at this point. After adding your shrimp, maybe you can just cook it for 5 more minutes. But if you are eating your palaver sauce with rice like I am, you want to cook it so you can reach this consistency. As you can see, most of the slime is gone because I cook it for a few more minutes. So bye guys.